Urgent San Francisco 49ers fans. Do not miss this. What just happened? You won't believe this one. But before we reveal the big news, make sure to subscribe to the channel, because here, we bring you daily videos with the latest San Francisco 49ers updates. And to not miss anything, activate the notifications. Hey, 49ers fans! Today, I've got some exciting updates that could potentially change the course of the team's future, especially when it comes to shoring up that defense and making a serious push for a deep playoff run next season. But, man, it's been a roller coaster of a year, hasn't it? We've seen the highs, we've faced some lows, and now, it's all about what's next for San Francisco. So, let's dive right into what's happening, what's being talked about, and some big rumors that could be a game changer for the Niners. First off, let's talk about the season that just wrapped up. Honestly, it was a disappointing one for 49ers fans. Coming into the year, expectations were sky high. After all, this team has been a perennial playoff contender, and with the roster that Kyle Shanahan has built, the goal was clear: win a Super Bowl. But what happened? Well, the 2023 season turned out to be a bit of a struggle. The team finished with a record of 6-11, marking their first losing season since 2020, and yes, that's a stark contrast from the dominant defenses and explosive offenses we've seen in recent years. That record, of course, was a shock to many. It's not the standard we're used to seeing from the 49ers, especially considering the talent on the roster. But if you look at the details, it's clear there were some issues, particularly on defense, that held the team back from reaching its full potential. And one of the most glaring problems was the pass rush. If you've been following the Niners closely, you know that their pass rush has historically been a strength, one of the reasons they've been such a tough team to beat. But last season, it was a different story. The numbers tell the story pretty clearly. San Francisco finished tied for 23rd in sacks with just 37. That's not exactly what you want from a team that prides itself on a fierce pass rush. And it gets worse when you look at quarterback knockdowns, only 43, which put them at around the middle of the league, but still not enough. The team also ranked near the bottom in hurries and pressures, sitting at 27th in both categories, with only 37 hurries and 117 pressures. These stats show that the pass rush was inconsistent and often ineffective last season, leaving quarterbacks more comfortable in the pocket and giving opposing offenses more time to make plays. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. The defense is more than just pass rush, right? And you're correct. But when you're facing the kind of offensive juggernauts that the NFC has, especially during playoff time, getting after the quarterback is crucial. If you can't generate pressure, your secondary gets exposed, and that's exactly what happened too often last year. Teams took advantage of this weakness, and it's no surprise that the 49ers struggled to contain some of the league's best offenses. So, what's the plan moving forward? Well, one big focus for the team will be to bolster that pass rush. And, interestingly enough, there's been a lot of chatter about possible moves that could make a real difference. One name that keeps coming up is Jadvian Clowney, the veteran edge rusher who has made a significant impact wherever he's gone. And this isn't just speculation, there are legitimate reasons why the 49ers should consider making a move for him. Let's break it down. Clowney, who played last season with the Carolina Panthers, has been a proven pass rusher throughout his career. Over his 11 seasons in the league, he's established himself as a disruptive force on the edge. And, in case you missed it, he's been to the Pro Bowl 3 times, which says a lot about his talent and consistency. His ability to get after the quarterback, set the edge against the run, and create chaos in the backfield makes him a perfect fit for a team like the 49ers that emphasizes pressure defense. Last season, with the Panthers, Clowney started 14 games and accumulated some solid stats. He had 46 tackles, which is decent, but more importantly, he recorded 5 sacks, along with 11 quarterback hits, 11 hurries, 5 knockdowns, and 22 pressures. Those are numbers that any team would be glad to have, especially when it comes to adding veteran leadership and pass rushing punch. And here's the kicker, Clowney is only on a one-year deal, valued at around $20 million, which makes him a very affordable addition compared to other premier pass rushers out there. And let's not forget about the team's recent draft moves. The Niners did invest a first-round pick in Michael Williams, an edge rusher out of Georgia, during the 2025 draft. That move shows they're serious about building that position, but sometimes, you need that veteran presence, that experienced player who can step in immediately and make a difference. Clowney embodies that kind of player. He's been around the league long enough to know how to make an impact and to help younger guys develop. Now, some of you might ask, what about the financials? Well, that's actually a big point in his favor. Clowney is entering the final season of his current contract, a 2-year deal worth $20 million. So, the 49ers wouldn't have to break the bank to bring him in. It's a smart move from a cap perspective, and it could give them that extra edge they need to elevate their pass rush to a league-winning level. Plus, with the team's core defense still intact, Nick Bosa, Fred Warner, Talanoa Hufanga, adding a player like Clowney could help create that intimidating front seven that the 49ers have been known for in recent years. But beyond the stats and contracts, it's about what Clowney brings in terms of leadership and experience. He's been through the playoff battles, knows how to handle high-pressure situations, and can contribute to developing the younger pass rushers on the roster. That kind of veteran presence is invaluable, especially when trying to turn the page after a tough season and get back into playoff contention. And speaking of the 49ers defense, you have to consider how they performed overall last year. Despite the struggles with pass rush, they still ranked 8th in total yards allowed per game, giving up about 317. 4 yards. That's a solid number, but points per game, 25. 6, showed that they had trouble closing out games and keeping opponents from scoring. Improving the pass rush can directly impact those numbers because more pressure means more turnovers, more sacks, and fewer easy completions for opposing quarterbacks. Clowney's addition could be that missing piece to turn a decent defense into an elite one. Now, let's also look at the bigger picture. The NFC is stacked, with teams like the Eagles, Cowboys, and Lions all vying for supremacy. The 49ers are right there, but to take the next step and return to Super Bowl contention, they need to fix their weaknesses. Enhancing the pass rush is a priority, and bringing in a player of Clowney's caliber could be the spark that ignites that pass rush unit, making the entire defense more formidable. But it's not just about the X's and O's. It's also about the culture, the locker room vibe. Clowney, with his experience and leadership, can be a positive influence on the younger players, like rookie Michael Williams or other emerging talents. That kind of mentorship can be pivotal in creating a cohesive, hungry defense that's ready to dominate when it counts. So, in summary, the 49ers season may have been rough, but the future is still bright. They've got the talent, the coaching, and the management to make smart moves in the offseason. And adding Jadeveon Clowney makes a lot of sense, not just for what he brings on the field, but for the leadership, experience, and edge he can provide. It's a move that could help them get back into the playoffs and, who knows, maybe even make that Super Bowl push we've all been dreaming of. Now, I want to shift gears a little and talk about what this means for the team's overall strategy. Kyle Shanahan is known for his offensive genius, but he also understands that defense wins championships. Building a strong, relentless pass rush has always been part of his game plan. The addition of someone like Clowney would fit perfectly into that philosophy. It's about creating pressure, forcing turnovers, and setting up the offense to do their thing. With Brock Purdy, Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, and that talented offensive line, the 49ers have the pieces to be explosive on offense. But to truly compete with the best, they need that backbone, something that a veteran pass rusher like Clowney can provide. And I can already hear some of you saying, but what about the draft picks? Won't they need those for future building blocks? Well, it's all about balance. The 49ers have shown they're smart with their roster management. They can afford to bring in a veteran who can make an immediate impact without sacrificing their long-term plans. Plus, with the draft capital they accumulated, they're in a good position to continue building through the draft while also making strategic veteran additions. Let's not forget about the fans and the community. The 49ers have a passionate fanbase that expects excellence every season. The offseason moves, like potentially adding Clowney, send a message that the team is serious about returning to the top. It's about re-establishing that identity of a tough, relentless defense that can shut down opponents and carry the team when it matters most. Fans are eager to see their team make smart, impactful moves, and this could be one of those moves that energizes the entire fanbase ahead of next season. And for the players on the roster, a move like this also creates competition and raises the level of everyone around them. When you bring in a proven veteran, it pushes the younger players to elevate their game, learn from someone who's been to the highest levels, and ultimately become better versions of themselves. That's the kind of culture the 49ers have been building, one of excellence, resilience, and continuous improvement. Before I wrap up, let's touch on what the fans can expect moving forward. The team is clearly looking to improve, and the front office has a lot to consider. Will they pull the trigger on a trade for Clowney? It's not a done deal yet, but the signs point to serious interest. They're also exploring other options, free agents, and draft prospects, all aimed at strengthening that pass rush and making sure their defense is ready to roar in the upcoming season. So, for all of you die-hard 49ers fans out there, it's an exciting time. Despite the setbacks of this past season, the team has shown resilience and a clear focus on bouncing back stronger. The offseason is just getting started, and there's plenty of talk about moves that could reshape the franchise for years to come. Whether it's adding veteran leadership like Clowney, developing their young talent, or making strategic draft selections, one thing's for sure, San Francisco is not settling. They're aiming high, and with the right moves, they could be back to their winning ways very soon. And now, San Francisco 49ers fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential move for JV and Clowney? Do you think it's the right step to take? Or are you hoping they go in a different direction? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the San Francisco 49ers. Remember, I'll be back soon with more updates, analysis, and all the latest news, so stay tuned for everything you need to know about your favorite team. The offseason is just heating up, and the 49ers are definitely a team to watch. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Until next time, stay safe, stay loud, and go Niners!